Hello learners, today we are going to discuss about one of the important aspect of the environmental impact assessment, that is strategic environmental assessment. So in developing countries with a trend of industrialization and urbanization that results in expansion of cities and construction of new projects, depleting natural resources, all together have a heavy load on ecological footprint, due to which sources of pollution increases, and we are realizing and we are experiencing nowadays. The increase in the pollution levels and the lack of enough strategies in environmental planning and management that keeps environmental sustainability is an unachievable target. So the existing environmental impact assessment guidelines that has not been effective due to many reasons. For example, the legislation, organizational capacity, training, environmental information, participation and policy. In a perception, environmental impact assessment is more focused on the project development proposals rather than the prediction of the effects proactively. So that means it does not apprise the types of project activity which are suitable for socio-economic development. It also lacks the strategic vision for considering cumulative impacts of the multiple project proposals. So if the situation is like that, there is a need for developing another environmental management tool which is known as strategic environmental assessment that has come to existence. If we will see the history about this one, late 1980s, some countries started to evolve guidelines, procedures and laws that envisaging environmental assessment of the policies, plans, programs and legislative acts. At international level, several influential bodies expressed their support, like a protocol which is emerged as a strategic environmental assessment SEA. European Commission endorsed the extending environmental impact assessment from projects to higher tiers of action. That means the Commission's fourth action program on the environment provided a clear statement of the principles of environmental policy in the European communities. World Conservation Strategy of 1980, the first international document on living resource conservation produced with inputs from governments, non-governmental organizations and other experts. They have pinpointed the need to integrate environmental considerations with development in 1980 itself. It also emphasized that unless environmental objectives informed development policy, the various sectoral plans and the programs would be based solely upon social and economic considerations, and also consequently the attempts to minimize the environmental damage at the project level would only rarely be successful. Consequently, strategic environmental assessment became an accepted part of the World Bank policy also. That also states that environmental issues must be addressed as part of overall economic policy rather than project by the project. That is the World Bank in 1987 itself. The importance of this philosophy has been again underscored in the Brundtland report, that is a World Commission on Environment and Development 1987 itself. In 1996, European Commission started considering strategic environmental assessment for certain plans and programs. In 2001, European Union Council approved this proposal by its directive in 2001-42 EC, and it became binding for European Union member countries since 2004. So strategic environmental assessment has been widely promoted by international developmental agencies like World Bank, UNEP and OECD countries. But more than the assessment of development proposals, strategic environmental assessment is an important instrument to to help face development challenges generated by the adaptation and mitigation to climate changes, or we can consider poverty eradication and overcome of social and regional inequalities, and enhancement and maintenance of biodiversity values, ecosystem services and human well-being, and also it considers social and territorial cohesion and promotion of regional developmental potentials, innovation and cultural diversity of population, and also the promotion of environmental quality, landscape and cultural heritage, and sustainable use of the natural resources. If we will see the definition of the strategic environmental assessment, it is a formal, systematic, comprehensive procedure to analyze, address and evaluate and address the environmental policies, plans and programs. That means there are 3 P's involved in that, that is policies, plans and programs that have the physical and spatial references and other strategic initiatives on alternatives to the adverse environmental effects. If we will see what is the rationale and scope of this strategic environmental assessment. The rationale of strategic environmental assessment that falls in into the 3 categories. The first category is to strengthening the environmental impact assessment process by ensuring the policies and plans where the environmental issues are addressed in a proactive manner. In the second way, to improve the cumulative environmental impact assessment of large scale projects. Thirdly, it will focus on sustainable development. So, the environmental impact assessment procedures and practices that have certain limitations. They contain structural deficiency on the relatively final phase at which environmental impact assessment is applied in decision making with or without proper environmental analysis. Most important stage this one. For project proposals, strategic environmental assessment can be used as a complementary to the project level environmental impact assessment to integrate the environmental considerations and alternatives to the activities which are directly into policy, plan and program design. Again, we have to consider the Brundtland Commission of WCED, that is in 1987, and Agenda 21 of UNCED 1992. It can be a vector for a sustainability approach to planning and decision making when applied systematically in the upstream part of the decision cycle and to the economic, fiscal and trade policies that guide the overall course of development. This approach of upstream definitely helps in constructing environmental impact assessment projects more significant and reducing the time and efforts that involved in their preparation. If we will consider the scope of this strategic environmental assessment, which is a decision assistance instead of decision making process. In several stages of the policy making cycle, it acts as a tool for application of planning process in more flexible way. With this extensive frame of the reference, strategic environmental assessment that includes both wide policy initiatives and also more specific programs and plans which have physical and spatial references like cities, regional plans and also the development programs. The policies, plans and programs of environmental impact assessment and the evaluation process of environmental impacts at strategic level are required not to be the same as that of a project level. So, in this process the 3 tiered PPs are there. We have already seen that. The first one is the policy. So, what it will do? Policy provides a framework for the establishment of plans. Second one is plan, that is a plan provides the frameworks for the programs and the programs which leads to the project. So, that means the planning as well as the programs and then project. So, this framework hierarchy that exists between the policies, plans and the programs, with policies are at the first level of the conceptualization, which is followed by the plans and also the programs. So the program activities that make plans more certain by fix up a time schedule for specific activities. So execution of a program that includes carrying out certain projects which were subjected to environmental impact assessment procedure. Now we look into the strategic environmental assessment process. There are so many procedural steps are involved. The first step is the screening. That means screening is the stage where all the liable agency or company or organization that undertakes suitable assessment procedures for strategic decisions, those has environmental adverse effects. And the second step involved in this process is the timing, that is strategic environmental assessment solutions which are available well in advance for formulation of the strategic decision. And the third step involves the environmental scoping. This is one of the important steps in the SEA, where all pertinent information regarding to the proposed developmental activity to the judging authority for the verification whether to allow the developmental activity or whether to define the objectives, that would be completed in environmentally benign way, or we can also see that we can follow other alternative approaches. The other factors if we will consider in this procedure steps like socio-economic conditions, that should be influenced the assessment. And the next step is the review. In this stage, the SEA procedure, the standard level of the quality and the confidential data will be protected by an effective review operation. Next comes to the participation. So that means the relevant information regarding the developmental activity that will be obtained by the public and also the legitimate stakeholders and make it available beforehand and is to be used proficiently in the stage of strategic decision. Next comes to the documentation stage. So in this, the whole information will be documented and the outcome is also recognizable, comprehensible and accessible to all stakeholders, those who afflicted by the decision. And the final stage is the decision making, and it is for the accountability. In this step, the authorities will exhibit the decision making procedure and also how the results were taken into account to all stakeholders and all affected group by that proposed project about how the results were taken into account in decision making. So it is not an ending of this procedure. There is also a continuation process, that is a post decision. This step is to monitor where the provided information is emulating on the real impacts of the implementing the decision, which is valid to judge, or the decision should be amended. So this is most important aspects of the strategic environmental assessment. Now we will see what is the major differences between the environmental impact assessment and the strategic environmental assessment methods. So the measuring criteria of SEA is broader than the environmental impact assessment, in which several other activities are also involved and substantial degree of impacts to be assessed, availability of a significant range of well defined options and longer time intervals between planning, approval and implementation stages. So all these above, the real advantages of this strategic environmental assessment is a creative and innovative instrument with the flexibility in the formulation and reformulation and also amendment of all these 3 PPs in response to achieve the objectives of the environmental sustainability. Dear learner, before concluding, I would like to provide you the overview of strategic environmental assessment process. In the strategic environmental assessment process, the primary task is to analyze the proposed acts, policies, plans, programs or other strategic action plans of the government or any institutional body through an environmental window before the implementation stage. In addition to this one, It also aims to identify if there are any possible negative impacts of these actions on environment and human health before its implementation stage. By identifying the impacts in this next stage, the methods and to improve plans or programs and the ways to minimize its potential negative environmental impacts are need to be suggested. So, the main goal of SEA is to ensure optimization of plans and programs and make them most beneficial for environment and the human health. It also prioritizes the potential hazards and safety issues that will provide the information to the policy makers and decision makers in order to allow them consider expected risks as well as the benefits. Strategic environmental assessment, it also presents several alternative options to mitigate and strengthen the policies for achievement of the identified goals. It provides guidelines for decision makers to consider the most environmentally benign option. Some countries facilitate public participation in the strategic environmental assessment also. That makes it more transparent. A sector or any society which are likely to be influenced by the implementation of this plan and program that will be entitled to express their interest and also to induce to have its respectively in the decision making process. Public participation that also ensures adequate awareness to the society and to make them to think about the new ideas. In this process, relatively unexplored views and also ideas may be floated by the general public, which finds significance for these SEA experts. The traditional knowledge, or for example, you can say that inherited practices of environmental considerations and the conservation and the plethora of their experiences, which are some examples. If we will see the benefits of SEA, it will definitely improve plans and programs and gain public support to its implementation. In general, on the whole, there are some main benefits are there in SEA. It will address environmental concerns and corrections of the plans or programs at the early stages of the planning process that will result in economic savings, and it will also reduce the delay in implementation for the environmental impact assessment for such particular projects and improvement of the situations. It will also give equal importance similar to that of the other aspects of the development, for example, economic aspect or the market requirement or the financial and technological aspects in decision making. It will definitely encourage decision makers and policy makers to articulate the environmental goals with social and economic goals, like enhance the role of environmental concerns within non-environmental organizations. It will facilitate the leverage between the many organizations in general which are involved in the formulation of policies, plans and programs, and views of the general public taken into consideration during this process. That will provide the opportunity for the common people to express their concerns and potential environmental implications which they are experiencing. In certain cases, like some land use plans or the strategic environmental assessment may make a project environmental impact assessment unnecessary if impacts have been examined sufficiently at the plan or the program level. If there is a necessity, only a selected number of impacts may be examined, leaving others for the project stage to facilitate them. For example, in some cases, only sector-specific assessments, alternatives, cumulative impacts or carrying capacity assessment need to be examined at the project stage. In certain sectors like mining, hydel projects or road construction, mountain or coastal development, the mitigatory measures and compensation packages can be formulated as a reference. Alternatives like applying different technology, use of sustainable resources and their positive environmental impacts, if considered at the policy, plan or program consideration stage, and the use of the alternatives in the environmental impact assessment need not be considered. In many countries, site selection and clearance is also important. That is, a land ownership and economic considerations may render the consideration of the alternative sites impracticable. So, SEA can however help to determine appropriate sites for projects subsequently subject to EIA. There are several types of impacts which cannot be identified and assessed satisfactorily at project level or which are not dealt with at present. So, this can be classified broadly as certain cumulative impacts, synergistic, ancillary impacts, regional impacts and non-project impacts that consider in the strategic environmental assessment. It also considers the policies, plans and program providers an opportunity to address these type of impacts. Dear learner, we have to conclude by this strategic environmental assessment that promotes also and helps to understand sustainability challenges by incorporating an integrative perspective earlier in policy making and planning process. And also it supports strategic decision making that setting enabling developmental conditions. It facilitates identification and discussion of the development options and provide guidelines to help in development to follow sustainability trajectories. It also informs planners, decision makers and affected public on the sustainability of strategic decisions that will definitely ensure a democratic decision making process, enhancing the credibility of the decisions. It also encourages political willingness that stimulates the changes to mentalities and create a culture of strategic decision making. Learner, you must have understood the major difference between environmental impact assessment as well as the strategic environmental assessment. So, you must have compare these two for the betterment of the environmentally benign projects. Thank you.